From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Today is Tuesday. It's the last day of January 2017, the 31st of the month. Hello. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley, and I hope you're doing well today. Pat's on assignment. She's not here today, so you're stuck with me, and I hope it's okay. Yeah, how's your day going so far? Well, this show airs at 3 times during the day. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, at noon, and then again at 5:30. I hope you pick one of those times to watch. Otherwise, you're not watching right now. So run to your television and turn it on. Well, never mind that. Okay, coming up, we got a lot of stuff going on at Wayne Community College. It is that time of year. Registration is hot to trot right now. There's so many things going on. And you know, some of the things that are offered, no, as a matter of fact, just about everything offered at Wayne Community College is just terrific. I mean, they've got some unbelievable things. For instance, in the Small Business Center, they offer free seminars. Yeah, and they don't cost anything either, such as how to start a business. Well, duh. How to write a business plan. You can't start a business unless you have a business plan. You can, but it's just not smart. It will fail then. Most of the time. Anyway, financing your business, basics of bookkeeping, your small business taxes, how to find your customers, and inexpensive and creative ways to market your business. Now, these are all free seminars. All free. Basics of bookkeeping. Bookkeeping's tough. Okay. How to start a home-based business. How about that? How to start a home-based child care business, part 1 and 2. Intro to grant writing for nonprofits, nonprofit claims for refund, and it goes on and on and on. And that's just in the Small Business Center. They have, coming up at Wayne Community College, Rare Disease Day, the end of February. Rare Disease Day. Tyrone Starkey suffers from muscular dystrophy, and Sidney Yoakum is afflicted with ataxia. And those two folks will be talking to you about a rare disease on February 28th at Wayne Community College. Okay, they have a leadership class group project. They have so many other things. Anyway, Operation Medicine Drop coming up in March. We'll tell you more about that later. Operation Medicine Drop. Also, the 25th Annual Job Fair coming up in March as well. And the installation of Dr. Walker, that will be on March 8th as well. Wayne Community College ended the year ranked 9th in the country. 9th in the country in NC3 Certification Center. Now, that's the National Coalition of Certification Centers. 9th in the country with 641 certifications. Wayne Community College has finished in the top 10 for the past several years. We should be very proud. Congratulations. Anyway, there's allied health info sessions coming up. There's continuing education classes. Now, this is great right here. Listen to this. What does it cost to go to college? Occupational courses cost $70. That's it. For 1 to 24 hours. Now, for 25 to 50 hours, it's $125. Or 51 hours and over, it's $180. Now, that's a 2-year university. Now, for one course, you're not going to spend over $180. That's for 51 plus hours. Leisure recreational courses cost less than $50. And these include such courses as nail technology, phlebotomy, lifeguarding, notary, health and nutrition, and it goes on and on. Wayne Community College. Way to go. All right, what else we got going on here? Coming up later in the program, we're going to hear from Jessica Strickland, and she's going to tell us about a thing coming up this Friday. It's the Muscadine Grape Care and Pruning thing that's going to be held over at the Extension office. This is at the Extension office this Friday, starts at 9, goes till noon. It's a workshop covering the basics of muscadine grape care, such as variety selection, site preparation, fertilization. Much of the workshop's focus will be on learning when and how to properly prune a grapevine. Okay? So you need to register for this. If you want to go to this thing, go ahead and call right now. You're supposed to wait. You're supposed to go ahead and register 5 days before the event. 5 days was last week. Go ahead and call right now. They'll work you in. And register at 919-731-1520. 731-1520. They'll get you worked in there. The father-daughter dance, the daddy-daughter dance coming up February 10th at the Goldsboro Event Center on South Slocum Street. $10 per person. Tickets can be purchased at Herman Park Center or at the W.A. Foster Recreation Center. Okay? And we got a whole lot more stuff. Looky here. Center Stage Theater. You know what they got going on? Whew. Mercy. They got Lend Me a Tenor coming up February 17th, 18th, and 19th. Lend Me a Tenor. We had some guys in here. You're going to see that interview soon. Lend Me a Tenor. And then in April, they've got Bye Bye Birdie. In June, they've got a one-act festival by a local playwright. And anyway, it goes on. Whole bunch of stuff going on. Into the Woods coming up as well. That's in September. That's our Center Stage Theater. What else we have? An evening with UMO. We've told you about that. That's coming up February 25th at the Farm in Johnston County, where they will offer a raffle, and somebody will win a trip to Spain, and they have a ton of other prizes as well. Tickets are $25. You do not have to be present to win. Anyway, you can go to umo.edu and get information about this. It's called An Evening with UMO. It's dinner and dancing and raffling. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Lots of fun. Okay, on today's program, we have Pat and I took a trip to Grantham a couple of days ago, and we went to the Grantham Food Pantry. We did. And we met a young lady there that, I tell you, the word impressive is the only word I can think of. This young lady is 13 years old. You may have heard about her. She's been on statewide TV. She's been in several newspapers. They've covered her. Out-of-state news sources have covered her story. This is an amazing young lady, 13 years old. Her name is Hinson. Her name is Mackenzie Hinson. You're going to hear all about Mackenzie Hinson coming up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we are in Grantham, and we're talking with Mackenzie Hinson. And Mackenzie Hinson, you may be familiar with Mackenzie because she is known across the state of North Carolina and, in fact, all across the southeastern part of the country. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you.
Now, this is the Make a Difference place, right?
Yes, sir.
What is this? Make a Difference what?
Food Pantry.
Food Pantry. And people know you because you started this on your own. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I started it when I was 10 years old, and I'm fixing to turn 13 in May, so I'm still going.
You're going almost 3 years now.
Yes, sir.
That is wonderful. What in the world inspired you to do all this at the age of 10? Or at any age, for that matter, because there's a lot of people out there who have never done anything like this.
Yes, sir.
How did you do this?
Actually, it started with a 4-H speech. I did a speech on hunger. There was a lot of different topics I could choose from for the 4-H speech. Mm-hmm. Well, when I worked at the statistics online, I saw that 1 in 3 children in Wayne County and 1 in 5 elderly people suffer from hunger where I'm from. So I volunteered at a couple other food banks, and I decided I wanted to start my own. So I went to my grandma's church where we used to go to church, and I asked them if I could use their old fellowship hall for storage so I can distribute. I used to distribute one time every month. Now I distribute the second, third, and fourth Thursdays of each month from 5 to 6:30. Well, eventually, about 2 months after I moved into the fellowship hall, I grew out of space because Food Line came down in Marmac, and they gave me 1,200 meals to stock my food pantry.
Wonderful.
And then I moved into the strip mall that I am in now, the space that I'm right beside, which was 500 square feet, and now I'm in 1,000 square feet, and I am running out of room.
You're running out of room, and just looking around this room here, it is full. You got all kinds of
sir.
veggies, got apples, got canned goods, you've got peanut butter, you've got beans, you've got bananas.
What?
Bananas? Okay, bananas.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. I love
I was like-
bananas.
I was like,
I like bananas too. What?
I was like,
Okay. All right. Well, who are all these people in here?
They're my volunteers, and I actually call my volunteers that come here and my clients that come to the food pantry to get food are called my family because I have been around them for 3+ years, and they act like my family.
And they are volunteers. How many volunteers do you have?
Normally we have around 10 to 12 during our distribution, but sometimes when we run low, we have about 8 or 7.
All right. Now today is Thursday, and that means that you're out distributing things today, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
how often? Now I know you told me this a moment ago, but how often are you open?
I'm open 3 times a month. I'm open every week in the month, but the first. I'm open the second, third, and fourth from 5 to 6:30.
The second, third, and fourth Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
From what time?
5 to 6:30.
You're not even open yet, are you?
No, sir.
You're
We're-
almost, and I see a line outside, and that's why all these people are here.
Yes, sir. They start lining up about 1:30, 2 o'clock
All
to
right.
get food because most food pantries run out of food. So they're making sure they get in line first so they can get food.
Okay. Most of the pantries are running out of food. The food pantries are running out of food?
Yes, sir. And I am, thank the good Lord, I have not run out of food the first time.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's wonderful. And again, you said you get, from whom are you getting help?
The Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, I buy food from them for 18 cents a pound. I get all kinds of food. I get fresh produce, retail meat that you buy at Food Lion.
Right?
I am also partnered with Food Lion in Newton Grove and at Ash Street in Goldsboro.
Wonderful.
They have a no waste policy where they don't throw anything away that can be used within a 3 to 5 day limit. So what I do, I pick up at Newton Grove Wednesday through Sunday, and I pick up in Ash Street in Goldsboro on Sundays. So I get that food, and this is where all the food came from.
So for 18 cents a pound, you have all this food here, but from where do you get the 18 cents?
I actually fundraise to pay my rent and utilities and to buy food to give away.
So this room is not free. You happen to pay rent on this room.
Yes, sir.
1,000 square feet. So you have to pay for the room, you have to pay for the food, and then you have other expenses, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. I have a light bill, and I have my rent.
You have a light bill and you have rent. And all this comes from contributions to you. People donate money.
About
or you have a fundraiser.
10%. 10% of it is monetary donations, and about 90% of the time I fundraise.
What kind of fundraisers do you do?
I do them at local restaurants like at Texas Roadhouse in Goldsboro and at Sweet Frogs. I also, United Way has helped me a lot. They came through after the hurricane and gave me a huge donation. And Tyson Foods gave me a huge donation also, $20,000 last year in June. Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
And it lasts me all up until February.
So that's gone.
Yes, sir.
How long did that last?
Till about the end of December. But it lasted me a while.
Yeah.
It was,
Well, $20,000, that's a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
and we're waiting for a grant now, a $50,000 grant from G2. I'm so excited.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, when are you going to find out about that?
They were supposed to announce it at the end of December, but we haven't heard anything yet. We're keep checking the website every day to find out.
Okay, so you still may get this. This
Yes,
is
sir.
a grant.
I'm in the top 15.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes.
That's exciting. Now we're talking with Paige, and Paige is Mackenzie's mom, right?
Yes, sir.
My goodness, she has so much energy.
A lot of times, a lot more than we do.
I understand that. Well, now, she started this about 3 years ago when she was at the age of 10.
Yes, sir.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking she was thinking?
We were going down Highway 13 and it was raining, and she said she wanted to start a food bank. And I looked at her like she was crazy.
A 10-year-old.
A 10-year-old. And
Right.
I told her, I said, Kenzie, let's go to food bank in Raleigh. kind of see what's entailed. And then we'll make that decision. Well, she went to the food bank in Raleigh and she volunteered, and they kind of looked at her kind of like everybody else when she mentioned it. It was going to be a weekend project. She was 10. There was no way to do this.
Right.
But when she went to them, she had already been to First Citizens Bank. She had found out how to set her bank account up. She had already scheduled her a fundraiser with Zaxby's in Smithfield to put money in her bank. And she had contacted our accountant to see how to get a 501(c) and what it was.
At the age of 10.
At 10. So, and she had a business plan when we went in there. And I think they looked at her and said, you know, if she's already done this, let's see what we can do. And she's the youngest partnering agent ever with the food bank in Raleigh.
My goodness. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I know you're proud.
Very proud. And she's learned life skills that a lot of us, I didn't learn till I was married. She can budget. She can shop. She does monthly reports for the food bank in Raleigh and for Food Line. She's learned how to present things, how to cook, how to teach people about nutrition, how to teach them how to shop on a budget, because she has a shoestring budget here. And she's even incorporated, like today, there's a kids scavenger hunt. They're learning how to find fruits and vegetables and proteins, and when they finish today, they'll get a prize when they leave.
My goodness. Wow. Paige, that's very impressive. So she says she has plans to go on to college and then do other things. What would you like to see for her?
I would just like her to be happy. Whatever she does, to be happy. And I don't mind telling you, I had a lot of concerns. I didn't know why God had placed this on a 12-year-old's shoulders. It was a lot.
Yes.
And we talked to Second Harvest in Goldsboro, Pete Norris. She was paired with Mr. John that ran his food bank as a mentor. And he taught Kenzie, do what you can do with the resources you have. There'll always be a way made if you're giving from your heart. And he told her no matter what she did, always give from her heart. And that's why this is on the wall. It's more than just food. It's about how you make people feel. She wanted people to feel welcome here. And it's set up like a grocery store, thanks to Food Line, so that they feel like they're in a shopping experience. Because a lot of them have lost their humility and their pride to have to be here. But she knows all of them by name, her mobile pantry the same way, and it's more like a family. I mean, that's what she tells people. This is her food bank family.
Wow. Paige, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having her and coming to see her mission and being a part of it.
Well, she has impressed a lot of people, and I know she's not necessarily trying to impress anyone, but you can't help but feel the love that this young lady's putting out there.
And that's what she's trying to do. In the society that we live in now, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of hatred, and I think she's trying to show that no matter how old you are, you can make a difference. It takes time and a heart.
Very good. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.
Now we're talking to a gentleman who is visiting the Make a Difference. Sir, what's your name?
Benny King.
Benny, and you, how often do you come here?
Every time it's open.
Every time it's open. And these are people who are volunteering to help you in times that are difficult for you.
Yeah.
All right. What's your impression of this?
I think it's nice.
You have a favorite area of food that you like?
Desserts and what else?
Desserts. There you go. Man after my own heart. Well, Benny, I appreciate you talking with us. Now, you'll continue coming here, I take it?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for talking with us, Benny.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
This is Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa, how long have you been coming here?
Oh, how long have I been coming here? Probably 3-4 months.
And they help you out.
Very much, very much.
How do you feel about all this?
I feel wonderful about it. Wonderful.
They help you out a lot.
It helped me out a lot. It saves me a lot of money.
Very good. Miss Teresa, I appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you
And
so
you have
much.
a blessed
Thank
evening.
you, ma'am. You
All
too.
right.
Now we're talking with one of the volunteers here. What is your name?
Faye Westbrook.
Faye, I understand you work with one of the banks here.
Yes.
And that is?
First Citizens Bank.
First Citizen. How long have you been a volunteer here?
I've been here for about 3 years.
From the beginning? Right at the beginning here. What inspired you to become a part of this operation?
Just beginning to talk with Paige and Mackenzie at the getting to know them through some of the transactions, helping with them, and just learned a little bit about what she was doing within the community. And my heart it just touched my heart, and enjoy giving back to the community and helping others that needs a helping hand.
Now there is a board as well, and I understand you're on that board too.
That's
Is that correct?
correct. That's correct.
So how many members of the board are there?
I think there's about 12 or 13, 14, something like that. I'm not quite sure.
A typical board meeting, what do they do?
Well, we discuss, things that's going on with the community, different ways to have fundraisers to raise the funds that in order for her to meet her needs, concerns that anyone may have, just typical whatever needs to be covered and needs to be taken care of to get the job done.
How do you feel about the outpouring of support from Tyson Foods and Food Lion and all these restaurants in town? Isn't that
Awesome.
wonderful?
Yes, it's very heart-touching, and it's a very humbling experience. Very humbling experience.
Mackenzie says this is her family.
That's correct.
She feels that way.
Yes, well, I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. Very proud of the young lady. Very heart-touching to see a young lady of her age to touch the lives of so many families that she's touched. Very humbling experience. The first time I ever came down here, when I left, I was in tears. I mean, it's very heart-touching. That's all I can say.
Thank you for talking with us.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Now go
Glad
to
to have you. Glad to have y'all
Thank
with
you
us.
very much. Sir, what's your name?
Steve Schaefer.
And Mr. Schaefer, Steve Schaefer.
Yes,
The original Steve Schaefer, the real Steve Schaefer.
that's him.
That's your, okay.
World famous Steve Schaefer.
That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. Yes. World famous Steve Schaefer, of course. How long have you been coming here, Steve?
About 2 months.
About 2 months, couple of months.
Actually, I'm doing for someone else
Are you? Okay.
because I don't do it for myself. She works on Thursday, and so she can't get down here to get us stuff.
Okay.
And so she needs it.
So you're another volunteer.
Yes.
You're helping
yes,
out.
yes.
You're helping a person who can't be here.
And I on Wednesdays I cook at the soup kitchen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Downtown Goldsboro on James Street.
Yes.
Okay. Well, on,
Yeah, right.
whatever street that is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're helping someone do this now. You've been coming here a couple of months, and how do you feel about this?
I think it's great. I really
helping
think
people.
It sure does. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you talking to us. World famous Steve Schaefer here, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, it's good to see you. Thank you very much. All right. So how many people come through here in a day's time on a Thursday?
Normally it ranges from 100 to 225.
And these people actually are in need of food. They come to you for help with food. So you're helping 100 to 125 people every time the doors open.
100 to 225 people.
200. I beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I also have 2 other food pantries. I have one in Rosewood, and then I have one in Four Oaks.
Is that right?
Yes,
So you
sir.
actually have 3 pantries.
Yes, sir.
And Food Lion and these restaurants helping you with the fundraisers and other people like Tyson Foods. They're helping
sir.
you make a difference.
Yes, sir.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Have you come close to running short on anything? Coming close to running short on money or?
We have. We've had times where I had to pay the rent 2 weeks after the date is due, and I have told my landlord that it'll be a few days late because I get a check from corporate. They cannot cut it out of the restaurant if it's over a certain amount of money. So I have to wait, and he's always been cool with that.
That's wonderful.
As long as you
So
give
he's
somebody your
helping too.
word,
Right.
that's what my mom says. Your word is everything.
Your word is your bond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. And you're giving them your word that you will make good on that.
Yes, sir.
So, so you haven't had a problem yet. The money eventually comes in, but you get close sometimes.
Yes, sir.
So, if somebody wanted to make a contribution, what would they do?
They could call me on my number, and they can come to the facility where I am, or they can send me a message on the Facebook page and say, hey, I want to make a donation. Where do I come, or how do I make it out? They
Okay.
can always come here.
All right, what's the Facebook page?
It's Make a Difference Food Pantry nonprofit, and there's 2 of them, and there is one with a big check with the Tyson Foods check. You can't miss it.
All right.
And it's got me and all my other volunteers.
Make a Difference Food Pantry
Nonprofit.
nonprofit. That's
Yes,
all
sir.
part of the title there. Okay. All right. Now you mentioned a phone number. Do you have a phone number?
I do.
What's your
It's
phone number?
919-252-3700.
252-3700.
Yes, sir.
That's easy enough. 252-3700.
There you go.
Now, did you pick that number, or was it given to you?
It was given to me by
Well,
U.S. Sailor.
Well,
so
bless
I can't
their
complain.
I can't complain either. Bless their hearts. That's wonderful. Now, this is wonderful in here. So you're just about ready to get started. Now, when the doors swing open, there's a mad rush of crowd coming in.
Yes, sir.
Where do you have to stand? You get out of the way, right?
I stand stand everywhere, basically. If people have to leave, I go into their spot, or I just run back and forth.
Oh, okay. So what kind of questions do people ask you when they come in?
They don't normally ask me questions. They just say, "Ooh, I see produce. What can I have?" And when they see the signs, they're like, oh, "Produce," because most of these food banks don't have produce.
That's true.
They just laid it out on the table and they dig it like they're going through trash. And it's sad because most of these people, because they don't have the money to buy it, and they come to food banks to get fresh produce and fresh meat that is not gone out of date. When they come here, they have fresh produce, they have fresh fruit, as you can see.
If anyone comes and they can afford to pay, do they pay?
No, sir, this is free.
This is free
Yes,
to people in need.
Yes, sir.
All right,
No charge at all.
no charge. It's free to people in need. So do you see regulars? Do people come in on a regular basis? You see
Yes,
the same
sir.
people, and they're part of your family too?
Yes, sir. I know everybody that comes through this line.
Do you?
I know their names when they walk through the door.
How about that? Well, you've been doing it for 3 years. You've developed a relationship, right?
Yes, sir. I
Wonderful.
went from 50 people a month to almost 2,000 people a month. So between my 3 food banks, yes, sir.
That is wonderful. Mackenzie Hinson, what do you want to do when you grow up? That's a dumb question, isn't it? What's your goal?
Well, I want to go to college. I would like a food truck for the food pantry because Team Rubicon, I fed them when they were here during Hurricane Matthew.
Right.
I would like a food truck so when they go places, I can travel with them so I can feed them and make sure they have good food.
Wow. So, all right, you're going to college. Have you picked out a college? You've got time for that.
Not really.
Not really.
I do not want to go to state.
Ooh.
I am not a state fan. I'm a Carolina fan.
Now, wait a minute. That hair is red.
And?
So, state?
No.
Red?
No.
No. Oh, okay. All right. We're not going to talk about that, are we?
Mm-mm.
No. All right. You can always
See,
die.
you have blue veins. You have blue veins.
I think she's leaning towards another. Starts with a U, right? C or darker blue.
No.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
UNC.
No.
UNC
Okay.
Chapel.
Going to UNC all the way,
Yes.
right? Okay. All right. If you're going to pick out a school.
Yes, sir.
All right. We won't go any further with that. All right. Well, look, Mackenzie, this is wonderful. I appreciate you talking with us. Best of luck to you. You're getting all fired up. You're excited. You get excited every time you open the doors, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I can tell you're pumped up. Thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Hinson. It is Make a Difference Food Pantry in Grantham. Now, how do you get here? Where are you?
I'm in Grantham, right past the Grantham Elementary School.
Right past Grantham Elementary. On the right, as you're going south.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And you're inside a strip mall here. There's a series of stores, businesses, and such. And there's a big sign on the outside that says Make a Difference Food
There's a
Pantry.
big sign. You cannot miss it
Cannot-
unless you're blind.
You cannot miss it.
Unless you're blind.
You cannot miss it anyway. All right? All right. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
All right.
And we're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television for this Tuesday. It's the last day of January. It is the 31st or 31st of the month. There you go. Don't forget, Groundhog Day coming up day after tomorrow. That will be February 2nd, Groundhog Day. The question will be, will the most famous, there's several around the country, but the most famous one is Punxsutawney Phil out of Punxsutawney, PA. That's Pennsylvania. Will he see his shadow? Will he not? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And when he sees his shadow, does that mean it will affect the weather one way or the other just around Pennsylvania? Well, it'll be nationally. Because right now, we've had some pretty good weather here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, in Wayne County, North Carolina. But at the same time, along the northern tier of states, the plain states and northern tier up near the Canadian border, they've had some pretty rough weather up there. I mean, they have had some pretty rough weather up there. But it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Now, today at the Senior Center on East Ash Street, we've got your arthritis exercise, billiards, sleeping mat class, show and tell, open mic. That's always fun. Crochet and knitting, pinochle, line dancing with Stacia Fields today. In fact, that's tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay, what's special about today? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Here's what's special about today. Today, the 31st of the month, and that means today is, I do, if I had one, Appreciate Your Social Security Check Day. It's also Inspire Your Heart with Art Day. I don't know Art. Who's Art? Oh. Never mind. Inspire Your Heart with Art Day. Today is also Street Children Day. That's for street children. Sure it is. Here's our trivia question for today. The category for today's trivia question is Happy Birthday, Mr. President. The question is, 44 different men have been the President of the United States. 44 different. All the way from George Washington to Donald Trump. Now, they all have birthdays. All of them did. What month of the year were most presidents born? In what month? And you only have one out of, you pick 1 out of 12 now. You got a 1 out of 12 chance of getting it. In what month of the year were most U.S. presidents born? There's several months. There's some with only 2, and there's some with only 3. Most of the presidents were born in 4 months. 4 presidents were born in the same month. 1 in 5, I believe, or 2 in 5. But there was 1 month where 6 presidents were born. What month was that? We'll have the answer for you coming up in the next segment of the program, and that's coming up right after we hear from Jessica Strickland of the Cooperative Extension Service. That's next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today, Jessica Strickland from the Cooperative Extension Service joins us. Jessica is the Horticultural Agent, and how in the world are you?
Doing well.
How's that baby doing?
Doing good.
How old is Anderson
now?
About
5 months or so now.
A little over 5 months.
Yeah, big healthy boy.
Wow,
yes.
that's great. Well, I know you're happy.
Yes. Oh yeah, we've enjoyed it. So.
I know you're really tired too. Aren't
yeah,
you?
that too.
I know you are.
Yeah, looking for sleep when I can.
Take advantage of it every moment you can.
Yes.
Okay, what's coming up?
Well, wanted to tell you about a grape workshop we've got coming up this Friday.
A grape workshop.
Yeah, and
okay.
It's on Muscadine grapes. We're going to talk about care for Muscadine grapes, but also we're going to talk about a major portion of it being pruning, since that's the big chore now for grapevines is when and how do I prune grapevines.
Yeah.
When to prune is pretty easy, as far as usually we say February. Some people start in January if they have a lot of vines. But the question of how to prune them, it takes seeing and somebody explaining it to you sometimes to understand it.
That's the
trick.
That's
the trick. So we're going to cover that at this workshop then this Friday. It's from 9 to noon at the Wayne County Extension Office.
Okay, at the corner of George and Chestnut Street. Let me ask you though, everybody knows to prune.
Yes.
Why do we prune?
Well, pruning, you got to consider it's not just for looks, but with a grapevine, you're wanting grapes, you're wanting fruit production.
Right.
So you've got to prune to where you're directing that plant's energy into producing more fruit. So if you have grapevines, you know how much growth they get in 1 year. They get a lot of growth. You got to get rid of a lot of that growth, so that way that plant will focus on producing the buds from last year, those sending out new shoots and then producing fruit.
All right, now, okay. All right, back up a minute.
Okay.
When do they produce the buds? Is it the year before?
The year before.
So after after you harvest the grapes from the grapevine, then it creates new buds.
That's right. Yeah, it goes ahead and creates new buds. So those buds that are sitting there right now are going to create new growth where the fruit comes from, flowers and fruit.
So as you as they overwinter.
Yes.
And they're sitting there budding around. Hey bud, hey bud. As they're budding around, they're getting ready for the incoming, for the new year, for the new warm weather.
That's right.
And you prune the excess.
Yes, you do.
You don't prune something that's got buds on it, do you?
Well, you will have to, because you get a lot of growth in 1 year. If you notice, if you got your trellis, the vines will run way down to the ground.
Yeah.
And so you got to prune a lot of that off. And yet it feels like you're cutting off a lot of potential buds and growth and then potential fruit. However, if you left all that on, that plant's just overwhelmed. It can't keep up and produce that much, so you're not really going to end up with any fruit in the long run.
Okay.
So what you're doing is cutting it back to where you just have a couple of buds, 2 or 3 buds is what's recommended from last year's growth.
Really?
That's all you're
That's
going to
it?
leave. But you consider you got a long vine and you've got that in several places along that trellis, so you've still got a lot of growth that's
Okay,
going
so
to come.
you got 3 buds on one vine.
Yes.
And then you got another vine.
Well, on just one shoot, off of one
Oh,
vine.
one shoot.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
okay.
vine's got several shoots
got
on
several
it.
shoots.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we're
good,
talking about each individual shoot on the vine.
because I was going to end up with 3 buds and a whole
No, no,
doggone
no, no.
thing. You can't
No.
do that again. Okay.
Yeah, so you're still going to have a lot of buds on one vine.
Okay.
And so you're going to get a lot of growth, and that's going to direct, again, that plant's energy into producing bigger fruit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
more fruit.
what are the chances, Jessica, of you taking this that you pruned off and
yes.
putting a little rooting hormone on it and
can.
and sticking that in the dirt and getting
You can root, grapevines root pretty easily.
Do they?
Usually the best time is around summertime when that growth is active, it's actively growing, is to take some cuttings then, but you can try them other times. But they usually say,
Well-
when there's active growth, that's when it's the best time.
So in February, you've got old wood there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's
you
right.
just
Yeah,
toss that.
yeah. So
But in the summertime, when you got new growth coming, and
That's
it's soft green wood,
yes, that's when you can propagate it and get some more.
propagate.
Yes.
That's the word I was
Yes.
looking for. You
Yeah.
got to propagate it there. See? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's why we prune is to get healthy grapes.
Yes.
But
Yep.
I guess that's true for just about anything, though.
It is, yeah. When you look at fruit trees, blueberries, anything that produces fruit, we prune them differently than we do our pretty trees and shrubs that are in the landscape.
Right.
Because you think of trees and shrubs and landscape, you're pruning them to look nice, have a
Right.
nice appearance. But with fruit trees and blueberries, small fruits like grapes, we're looking at pruning for fruit production. So we're trying to get enough sunlight in. We're trying to make sure that plant's not overwhelmed with too much growth and where the energy kind of gets spread out. Where you don't have as much fruit production. So the focus is different with it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So that's why we prune is for production to get
Yes.
more grapes and more fruit. So what about the tools you use to prune? I mean, there's got to be a good and a better, because I've seen pruning shears
Yeah.
anywhere from $2 up to
Oh, yeah.
to $100.
Yeah, there's a wide variety. You would want to invest a little bit of money. Probably the ones that are the cheapest aren't going to last as long. And when you're looking at grapevines, that's a lot of work with your hands and wrists
Yes.
and so forth. So you want a good pair that feels good and fits well. And but I've seen people with grapevines, because there is so much growth and they have a lot of vines, they might go with hedge clippers and clip the shoots lowest to the ground to trim it up some,
Yeah.
and then go back with hand clippers and trim it to get those 2 or 3 buds per
Okay.
shoot.
Okay.
So, yes.
Do you cut at an angle, or do you cut?
It really doesn't
Straight
matter
away.
too much
Doesn't
with
matter.
it. Yeah, main thing is keeping a few of those buds. You don't want to cut too far into the 2 or 3 year old growth, and then you've lost
Oh, yeah.
all those buds. So you got to look for, but you don't have to sit there and count every time 2 or 3. Just a general idea. Once you get the hang of it, you can kind of eyeball it and then go with it.
Okay. All right. Now, do people need to register for this?
Yeah, we would like for people to register just so we got enough handouts. It is a free workshop, and they can register at our office, Wayne County Extension office. The phone number is 919-731-1520.
They need to do that today, don't they?
Yeah, as soon as possible, but if you forget and you hear this and show up Friday, we'll have enough handouts.
So you need to do it right now.
Yes.
So give Jessica time to get back
Yes.
to the office, right?
That's right.
And then
Yes.
call and
Yes.
Rondi can take this, can't you?
Yes, they can. Yeah, the ones that answer the phones or support staff at the office, they can
Okay.
take it. Yes.
They can take it. So register now. And what's the number?
919-731-1520.
731-1520. And it's this Saturday.
Or Friday.
Friday, I mean. This
Yes.
Friday at the Cooperative Extension Service, presented by you. You'll be doing the presentation.
Yeah, I'll be presenting it. We'll have presentation handouts. We're not going to be able to go out and actually look at a vine to prune, but I'll have some examples and have lots of visuals. So you should have a pretty good idea by the time you leave of
That
pruning.
is just great.
And we're also going to talk about variety selection. So if you're interested in planting grapevines, that'll come up soon. Late February, March is a great time to plant vines. So talk about how to set up a trellis and varieties that work well in our area.
So this is right on time, isn't
It is,
to get
yeah,
it done
it's perfect
now.
time, so,
What makes this area so good for grapes?
Well, the grapes we're talking about is Muscadine grapes.
Right.
Our bunch grapes, like you think Concord grapes, they don't do as well here. Muscadine grapes are a native plant in eastern North Carolina. Very little pest problems. They're drought tolerant, so they're a tough plant that really pruning is your big chore. Once you get the trellis set up and you've got it trained on that trellis, your biggest chore is pruning, but you don't have a lot of other issues that come along with it usually.
These are native to our area?
Yes, they are.
How about that?
Yeah,
So,
they're native to our area.
native to eastern North Carolina, sandy soil,
Yep.
good drainage. I
Yep.
guess that helps.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah, but they're once they're established, they're drought tolerant. So they're tough plants. Our bunch grapes, like Concord grapes, people ask about them, but they don't do as well here because they need those cool nights, and we have the hot, humid summer nights, and they have a lot of disease problems. But
So-
if you start going west of Raleigh, especially towards Winston-Salem, Greensboro, that direction, you do start to see bunch grapes because they have those cooler nights with the
Okay, so
valleys.
how do these come? Do these come single grapes?
Yeah, usually they're
Kinda
single
like
grapes, but you
strawberries?
have the white grapes and the purple, the dark grapes. You have different sizes, different flavors. So there's a lot of varieties you could pick from.
Okay. Does anyone ever grow these just for looks?
I know some people have a pretty trellis sometimes, just to
Yeah.
have growth on it. But most of the time we're after the grapes.
After
on
the
it, yes.
grapes. Well, I mean, I can just picture, you're kicking back, you're up under the trellis,
Oh,
you just
yeah.
reach up and grab one
Yep, there you go.
and go back to sleep.
Yeah, take a nap.
Right? Yeah, there you go. All right. 919-731-1520 is the number to contact Jessica Strickland or anybody at this office to set up, to register for this event coming up this Friday.
This Friday, yes.
Beginning at
9 a.m.
9 a.m. and it's only a 3-hour show.
Yes.
How about that?
Yep, so we'll cover a lot in 3 hours.
Cover a lot in 3 hours. All right, Jessica, thank you so much. I
All right,
appreciate
thank
you being here.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
Wayne Goldsboro Television on a Tuesday. Thank you for being with us. Pat Garner's on assignment. She'll be back tomorrow. Okay. We've got, I had mentioned earlier an evening with UMO, University of Mount Olive, offering a big event for you. And this will take place at the farm. What was that like? Anyway, at the farm in Selma. Now, the cost to attend is $50. And this is on February 25th at 6 p.m. February 25th at 6 p.m. And in Selma on the 25th at 6 p.m. it costs you $50. It is semi-formal, featuring dinner, dancing, live music provided by Jack 180, and a large raffle to be done. Now, raffle tickets are $25. You do not have to be present to win, but somebody's going to win a trip to Spain next year. It'll be June 14th through the 18th in 2018, and it includes, believe it or not, airfare and accommodations for one person. Now, it's that's to also they're going to be giving away also a 7-day night stay at Los Cabos, Mexico. Also, they're going to be giving away a 3-night stay at Fairmont Chateau Whistler in British Columbia, Canada. And airfare not included on that one. Airfare not included in the thing to Mexico too. But it's just a great event. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. There you go. And there you go again. What else do we have here? Stuff. We got stuff. Okay. I'm trying to get it together. Get it together. At the Wayne County Public Library. Lots of stuff going on. In Goldsboro. Every Wednesday at 9:30. Baby and Me. Now that's for 9 to 18 months. Baby and Me. That's every Wednesday at 9:30. And then Thursdays at 9:30, it's toddler time. That's ages 18 months to 3 years. And then Pre-K Club on Thursdays at 10:30. And then ages 10 and under get to hear bedtime stories with Gammy Lil. Nice lady. That's Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Saturday story time of all age for all ages. That's the first Saturday of each month at 10 a.m. Now that's at the Goldsboro Library. In Fremont, they've got story time on Wednesdays at 10:30 for ages up to 4. In Pikeville, story time ages up to 4 on Thursdays at 10:30. And then at Steele Memorial in Mount Olive, story time ages up to 4 Wednesdays and Thursdays 10 a.m. Now that's children's events. That's just one category here. Adults, listen to this. They've got a book club. It's called Real Murders Book Club. It's for adults. They're meeting this Friday at 4 o'clock. It's only an hour long. In their newest program, Real Murders Book Club, and that's their newest program, the Real Murders Book Club will examine and discuss cases from best-selling crime novels with other mystery buffs. If you're a mystery buff, there you go. Figure out who done it. The first novel will be The Devil in Pew Number 7 by Rebecca Nichols Alonso. That will be coming up at the Real Murders Book Club meeting on Friday, February 3rd at 4 p.m. How about that? All right. Let's quickly go over our trivia question for today and give you the answer to the trivia question. The category was Happy Birthday, Mr. President, and the question was, in what month of the year were most presidents born? Most presidents of the United States were born in what month? And the answer to that question is October. October. We start with John Adams, president number 2, of course. John Adams was born October 30th. And then Rutherford B. Hayes. Rutherford B. Hayes, or Rutherford, the big R, was born October 4th, like Bob Hill. 10-4. Also, birthday for Chester A. Arthur. Arthur was born October 5th. And then the 5th was, the 4th rather, was Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, born October 27th. October 27th. After that, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight David Eisenhower was born as, that will, of course, that will separate him from all the other Dwight Eisenhowers. Dwight David was born October 14th. And then finally, Jimmy Carter was born in Plains, Georgia, October 1st in 1924. All right. So October, the correct answer, with 6 presidents born in the month of October. Okay, that'll work for me. All right, we're going to do this again tomorrow if they'll let me in the building. So we'll be back tomorrow morning. Okay, join us again. If you missed any part of the program, you want to see it again, we come on again at noon, then it comes on again at 5:30 p.m. You can also go online to our YouTube channel. To go to our YouTube channel, simply click on the WayneGov.com website. That's our webpage, WayneGov.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a red dot. That's a YouTube link. So click on that YouTube link and it will take you right to our YouTube channel. And you can see not only today's program, but all the programs we've done this year and last year. All right? And we've got them archived before that, but there you go. This year and last year, you can see all our programs, plus other programs as well, including some specials and some, of course, the Board of Commissioners. You see those as well as the other stuff as well. That makes sense? Sure it does. Okay, anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Missing in Action Pat Garner. She's on assignment. Missing in Action Pat Garner, I'm Wayne Alley, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.